Hey girl, hey, welcome to Tia's Table. Let's talk about everything from the latest fitness and wellness trends, recipes that are actually worth cooking, and the craziness that's happening on our side of the internet. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey girl, hey, welcome back to another episode of Tia's Table. Ooh, I just remembered. I need to text my friend. We're supposed to chat today about something that we have been talking about on the podcast. I just randomly remembered that as I sat down to record this. So let me write that down so I can text her when I get off the phone with you guys. Oh my goodness. Hey girl, hey, she knows who she is if she hears this. I have so much going on. Today is MLK Day, so happy Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day to everyone. I hope you are somewhere resting, relaxing, spending the day exactly how you want to. I woke up this morning, had a little bit of breakfast, wasn't anything too exciting. It was a veggie bowl because I'm out of a couple of the things that I need for my Asian baddie breakfast. And I am definitely one of those people that if I don't have all of the ingredients that I want, I will just do something else altogether. Because I'm like, ooh, it's not going to be right if I don't have the green onion. It's not going to be right if I don't have the bok choy. If I'm eating a salad, I'm like, ooh, do I really want it if there's no cucumber or boiled egg or red onion? I don't know. And it doesn't matter to me what kind of salad it is. I kind of still want my salad to have certain things in it. So gonna make my way back to the Asian baddie breakfast tomorrow because I'm going to go to the grocery store today. I was really serious when I said the grocery store will not ever see me again on a Sunday. It will never see me. It would have to be a full-blown emergency. I would almost have to be in here about to bake a cake for a child's birthday and realize I don't have no vanilla, and then I would have to go to the grocery store. But even then, I probably would Instacart it because, yeah, just you can run that to me at home, and I will generously tip you to keep myself from having to go inside that grocery store on a Sunday. So I'm going to go get all of the things today so I can return to the breakfast soup tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. We're going to talk more about that in a second. We have a lot of different updates to discuss on today's call, as well as some part twos to what we talked about last time. So let's go ahead and talk about the Asian breakfast. I feel like not only was it delicious, but it was incredibly filling. I don't think it's necessarily the hot soup of it all. I think it's everything that goes into the soup that I was eating. So I do mushrooms, green onions, bok choy. If I have some broccoli in here, I've been putting broccoli in mine. I season it up really, really good. So it really does taste like that soup you get from a hibachi restaurant. I put a couple boiled eggs in there because y'all know I love a boiled egg. I put a little kimchi in there, and I've been having it with a protein on the side because I'm trying to make sure I get all of my protein in a day. Now, that is where things have been going a little crazy for me though, because I'll eat that breakfast. I'll get like 40 grams of protein in that one breakfast. I will be so full that I almost have to force myself to eat a lunch. One day last week for lunch, I had like chicken and broccoli, not necessarily stir fry style, but it had like a little teriyaki sauce on it. But it was just steamed broccoli, a thin cut chicken breast that I had diced up. It was delicious, but that was another like high protein meal. So by the time I ate dinner, I was logging my food that day, by the way, because I wanted to see what all this food was adding up to. By the time I ate dinner, I had already met my protein goal for the day. That's number one. Number two, by the time it was dinner time, again, I wasn't really even hungry, but I had like over 700 calories left in the day that I still needed to eat. And I didn't want to just straight up not eat any of those things because, I want the energy from the calories because I have been trying to work out and do different things. So I wanted to eat. So I made myself like a little tiny like taco salad that wasn't even 400 calories. So that particular day I ended up going to bed with like over 300 calories left. But I had maxed out my protein, I had maxed out my fats, and I had not even eaten half of the carbs in a day that I'm allotted. So I would consider that like a really good food day because I met all of my macro goals for the most part in under the amount of calories that I can have in a day. Now, what I have also noticed about eating like the Asian baddie meal plan or whatever is that some of the cons, though, are, oh my gosh, how am I prepping this and having this ready for me every single day? Making that breakfast early in the morning like that is a bit much. So some of that you probably do have to have it prepped and ready for you. So I think what I'm going to do is start making like a large pot of the broth ahead of time with some of my veggies in there. Not all of them because I wouldn't want them to get soggy, but I'm going to go ahead and start making that ahead of time so that I can scoop out like a cup of it every morning instead of chopping up all that stuff every single morning and making it from scratch. I cannot keep doing that. So that's number one. It's got to be a better way. I might actually end up also boiling my eggs ahead of time and like peeling them all at once because that too takes time. Like it takes time to boil an egg, let it cool or do like the ice water bath thing and then peel them so you get perfect eggs every time. A friend of mine actually told me about boiling eggs in the air fryer. I still haven't tried that yet, but that might be something that I try to make time to do one day this week just to see how it comes out. But yeah, like it is a lot of cooking, even though I'm using the microwave, like I'm using the microwave for almost everything or the air fryer for almost everything. It just still is a lot to do it every single day, like every single morning before I can eat breakfast. Like I'm chopping up all this stuff and doing it. So I would say if you can pick a day to like chop up everything or like prep everything, have everything ready to go. Or what would actually be a really fantastic idea now that I'm thinking about it, if you have little tiny containers, what I probably should do is go ahead and prep all my veggies, like chop all my green onions, chop all my bok choy and my mushrooms and like all of my stuff. Go ahead and put them in 5 separate little containers. So every morning, all I have to do is pour chicken broth in a bowl, dump that veggie container, and then microwave it. That's probably what I will do. In addition to still going ahead and prepping all those boiled eggs, because waiting for that every day has been a little like time consuming, I feel. So that's the good and the bad of it. I will also say though, that having that hot tea first thing in the morning, then having like your hot breakfast, the way that I think that has reduced a lot of my bloat, they deserve a medal for not gatekeeping that on TikTok. Like, truly, they do. Because I noticed after day 1, I was like, ooh, this is actually making a difference. Like, yeah, like I can see and feel a difference. And it's only been one day. Today would be like day 7. Now, I don't eat this breakfast over the weekend. Over the weekend, I kind of just try to do a mix of whatever my family is doing. But today would be like, like my second week doing it. And I did wake up this morning feeling like the hot tea. And for my hot tea, I do a green tea and like a different herbal tea combo. And I'll share my tea bags on Instagram so you can see. But one of the teas has like a peach flavor. It's a herbal tea. It's really yummy and it smells really good. I love the fragrance of it. And then I put a green tea bag in there too. So I drink that in the morning. Then I have the hot breakfast. And I feel like that little 1-2 punch with the kimchi, noticeable reduction in the bloat. And if I'm telling you that my stomach doesn't look bloated or swollen, that is saying a lot right now. So I know it looks and sounds like a lot, but if you can find a way to prep all that stuff and like make it work for you, give it 1 week. Give it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and just see. It is a very easy breakfast for you to take on the go, because you could low key, I mean, I know sometimes I say crazy things, but you really could make this and drink it out of like a thing, out of what is that called? A thermos. You could drink it on your way to work if you're commuting. And then maybe once you get to work, if you want to eat the veggies out of the bottom, like go for it. But you really could make it and take it. I'm not even kidding. And put your boiled eggs in like a separate little container, and you can pop those in your mouth while you drive. And I know, because when I was sharing it on Instagram, people were like, ooh, that kind of feels and seems like a lot of different components you got going there. And I'm like, yeah, it definitely is. But I feel like it really does give the results that they say. Now, some of the other things that they were sharing on TikTok about how to, I don't know, like live the Asian way, I guess, that's supposed to be like good for you, are things that I feel like Black people were doing anyway. And so I feel like those really aren't worth the try. Like one of them was wearing like house slippers. And I'm like, y'all didn't grow up wearing house shoes? Like reading the comments, I'm like, y'all didn't grow up wearing house shoes? I keep house shoes on my feet. Now I'm also very Southern and slightly country. So would I go outside barefoot? Maybe, possibly, if the situation presented itself and I felt like, ooh, let me just scoot out here real quick and come back inside. But when I'm inside, I keep a pair of house slippers by my bed. So as soon as I get up in the morning, my feet go in and I wear them all day. I have several different pairs of house shoes to match all of my different moods and outfits in here and all my little different robes. I love it. And when people ask me what I want for Christmas, I tell everybody, oh, you can get me a pair of house slippers. It's inexpensive and I know I'm going to use them. And when random people buy them for you, you get different styles and different colors. Although I would have to say that my mother-in-law buys the best house slippers and the best robes. Like her robes are always so warm, so cozy. They are like little saunas. That's how warm they are. Like you might feel the spirit to start like moving around and doing stuff in your house. And if you have on one of the robes that she has gifted you, now that is a workout because you're full on sweating, which is making us go off completely on a different tangent. But I say all that to say, I don't know about all the other tips you might find as you start going down the rabbit hole of Asian TikTok, but this Asian breakfast, absolutely. Try it for at least 5 days and then come back and tell me if you notice a difference. Something else that I have tried, or that I did, I gave up coffee Monday through Friday. And initially I was like, oh, I probably really won't even notice a difference with this. I'm just going to stop drinking it Monday through Friday, because I noticed when I wasn't drinking it once, like I was back home from the hospital, initially I wasn't drinking it just because I didn't feel good. But then once I started feeling better and I still wasn't drinking it, I kind of felt like, ooh, I think not having coffee every day like agrees with me. Like I don't feel as sluggish and as tired and like all of the things. But then as coffee tends to do, it summons you. It calls you to the front of the line. And one day I started drinking coffee and then I started having it every day. Last week though, I was like, nope, I'm not going to have coffee every day anymore. And I'm going to do it in tandem with this Asian breakfast. Because if I'm drinking a hot water type beverage when I wake up in the morning, I don't need that. And then to turn around and also have coffee, because like then when would I ever start drinking water? I don't know. Let me just say that when I did not have coffee all of last week, the way I slept I slept like I was in my 20s. I slept like I was in my 30s. I slept like I didn't have a care in the world. I think what was happening to me, even though I drink coffee like in the morning, you know what I'm saying? I don't ever have coffee like late in the day or like after lunchtime or anything like that. But I think my body was doing coffee like it was some type of slow release of the caffeine. So it's not like I was drinking coffee and then buzzing around my house doing stuff all day. And then by the time I go to bed, all of that is out of my system. No. I very much so highly believe that my coffee was still in my system by the time I would go to bed. And that could be the way that I make my coffee. I do like a very dark roast, and then I mix it with like a medium roast that has like a little flavor that I might like. And then we also do a little bit of Cafe Bustelo in there, and I mix it up in one pot, and like, there you go. So my coffee just might be strong. However, I just would have never believed that it was so strong that it was keeping me from being able to get good sleep at night, because I do drink it very early in the morning. But yeah, I think that coffee was doing that. And how I know it has to be the coffee is because I was actually getting sleepy during the day last week. And that does not happen to me. Like, I'm not a girl that likes to take a nap or ever feels drowsy during the day. I might be tired, but not sleepy. Last week, at about 6 o'clock in the evening, I would notice that I was genuinely drowsy. Like, the sleep was on me, and I was making myself, like, go ahead and start a bedtime routine and like get in bed. And I was getting in bed by about 9 o'clock, going to sleep, and then truly sleeping until like 5:30. My body naturally was waking up somewhere between 5 and 5:30. And because of that, I was waking up feeling rested, getting up, getting dressed, and doing my walk. Oh, and it was great. Cookie, no. Now see, what happens is those little hooligan dogs that live next door, they're my neighbors. They put them dogs outside sometimes. And when they put their dogs outside, they bark because, of course, they don't want to be out there. It's freezing. And my very much so inside dog will hear them barking and get mad because he's like, why are you waking me up with all that noise, all that hooting and hollering? You are supposed to be inside. We are suburban dogs. We don't spend time outside in that way. But the people that live next door, they don't know that. So yes, I gave up coffee, and I could see and feel the impact of that too. And I'm not telling people, oh, give up coffee for a week. And I wouldn't do that to you, girl. I wouldn't do that to you because I know that's not a choice that everybody makes or wants to make. But what I'm saying is I did the Asian breakfast and I gave up coffee, and I noticed a significant difference in the way my body feels and also looks. So there's that. Now, what I will say about coffee, though, is that now that I'm a weekend coffee drinker, that also kind of gives me time to play around with coffee drinks. And I finally was able to try drinking one of my Ensure Max Protein shakes with a little bit of coffee to make, like an iced coffee beverage to see how that would come out. And it came out exactly like I thought it would. And I love that for me. You know how sometimes you'll see an outfit in your mind, and then you'll put the outfit on and you're like, well, this did not look the way I thought it would. I thought that was going to happen with this shake and this coffee, that I was like, ooh, in my mind, that's going to taste really good. I'm going to make it, and it's probably not going to be that great. And I'm just going to have to suffer through it because I'm not going to want to waste the shake. No. Let me tell you how to do it. So first, make sure your shake is cold, right? Have a cold shake. Get whatever cup you're going to use to drink this stuff. Have it ready. Fill it with ice. I brewed my coffee on the iced coffee setting so that I guess the temperature of the coffee itself wouldn't be so hot and melt the ice. I brew that. Now, I brewed that the way that I would always brew my coffee. So I put a little bit of cinnamon in the bottom of my coffee mug, and I put the smallest amount of my sugar-free syrup in there because the shake is sweet, but you want it to taste like you bought it from a coffee place, right? So we add just the slightest bit of a sugar-free syrup, right? Brew the coffee. Now, when you go to put that coffee in the shake, don't pour all of that coffee in there all at once. Pour some of it, stop, stir with your straw, take a sip, and see what you think. If you feel like it's a good enough balance of coffee and that vanilla flavor from the shake, stop. If you feel like, ooh, I want just a little bit more of like that coffee taste, pour a little bit more coffee, stir it around, and taste it. Now, every single time I made this, I always had a little bit of coffee left over. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't use all the coffee. I'm just saying that if you are looking for like that sweet treat taste, you probably don't want to use all of that coffee. But like on my coffee machine, if I say I want like an iced coffee, I want to say I don't get to pick the size of it. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, once I push iced, it just starts. If I could select how much coffee I wanted it to make, I would definitely go for like that small mug size. You know how they have like the teacup size and then like a little cute mug size and like the big mug size and then like the travel mug size. I would probably pick that first small mug if I were choosing how much coffee I wanted it to brew. But since I think my Keurig just automatically gives you what they think an iced coffee should be, I always have a little bit more coffee left in my mug. And when I mean to tell you that is like the perfect treat, oh my gosh, not only is it perfect, but it's still going to be low in calories. It is still like the tiniest bit of sugar. I want to say those shakes have like 1 gram of sugar. So if you use a sugar-free syrup to make it, it's essentially sugar-free. Let's just say that it is, right? But you get all of the flavor of like the vanilla and the coffee. It marries together very wonderfully, and it has been very yummy having that on like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. And of course, we want to just point out that it does have 30 grams of protein in it. You cannot beat that. And I know Starbucks has protein coffees now. I went through their nutrition facts on a few of their drinks, and the numbers didn't look bad. I think most of them had like 200 to 250 calories, but you were not getting that much protein in any one of those drinks. And then, of course, their drinks do have a bit more sugar in them. So, girl, you can make this at home. You could have one every day if you are hitting your protein goal like a high priority for you. You could have one every day and it would help you get that much closer to whatever your goal is. So it's the Ensure Max Protein French Vanilla flavor. If you can't find the Max Protein, girl, get any of their shakes. Like they're good. Get that, make your coffee, and come back and tell me if it wasn't a very yummy, nice treat for yourself. My kids ate Chick-fil-A the other day, and it was in the moment of me ordering their food, because I order through the app, that I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't want this, which is a very new feeling for me, because typically if I'm going to eat somebody's fast food, they would normally be like the only people that I would eat. But I did not even want it. And I sat there thinking to myself, well, has Chick-fil-A kind of just lost their za? Like, do they just not have it anymore? Did they switch up something to the point where now it's kind of like, I don't even want it? Or like, what is it? Like, what is it about it? And I had to even text a friend about that too, because I was like, girl, have you noticed anything about Chick-fil-A? Like, does it seem the same to you? And she kind of shared her thoughts and feelings about it that were like the opposite of mine. She was like, no, girl, it's still fine. And I was like, okay, because it doesn't really hit like that for me anymore. So when we go to Chick-fil-A, I always end up getting a salad, because their salads are still good, but I don't find that I like crave a sandwich or strips or nuggets or fries like that from them anymore. And I was trying to figure out why that was. And so my friend pointed out to me, she was just like, oh, well, you probably just want that thing from Five Guys because it's good. And I was like, well, yeah, absolutely. I think you're onto something with that. And so once we were done talking, I was still thinking about it, because I'm an Aquarius and I'm going to think a thought all the way through. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I think I've reached that place where if I'm going to eat something that doesn't come out of this house, that I don't make myself, it needs to be good. And I don't mean just like it needs to taste okay. I mean, when I'm eating it, I don't want to have no second thoughts about it. And y'all remember when I told y'all about that Wendy's experience and how I was eating it and something about the bread didn't hit for me? I have to say, one of the last times that I did eat Chick-fil-A and I actually got a sandwich instead of getting a salad, it was the same bread experience. Like I was eating the bread and something about it didn't feel like a real bun to me. And whatever it is that's going on with the bread at these fast food restaurants is enough to turn me off. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to turn me off. That turned me off to the point where I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want nothing from nothing from over here. I will still eat a salad because of course that doesn't have a bun. There's no bread involved with that. But yeah, no, like I'm actually good. So if I am going to get food out, it probably at this point has got to be something like a Five Guys or a Chipotle, because I will do Chipotle, or it's got to be like wings or something like that from one of our little mom and pop shops that we like. It's got to be something like that. And of course, unless we're going to like an actual restaurant. But yeah, I'm like, I think the actual drive-through restaurants, I think they have officially lost me. Now, would I get fries? Like, oh, if I'm really pressed for it and my kids want something, and if I'm really, really hungry, yeah, I'd probably order some fries from somewhere. Because as long as they're hot, you really can't mess those up. But as far as me like saying to myself, like, oh, for dinner, I'm going to get such and such from such and such with these people. No. No. I think I have gotten to a place where it's like, yeah, I'm going to either eat food at home. And if it's not food at home, then it's got to be something else. And I actually made chicken strips, the real good chicken strips from Costco that I think we've talked about up here before. But those with the Costco fries that are in that blue bag, make that. If you have access to those, and I think they sell those chicken strips at a regular grocery store too. They're either called Simply Good or Real Good. I will try to remember to post a picture of these too on the Instagram page. Those chicken strips, not only are they good for you, I think they have like 23 grams of protein, and it's not high in carbs. Like whatever they must cover those chicken strips in, I would have to read it to refresh my memory, but like it's a low carb, good for you, low calorie chicken strip. And they're a decent size. You know what I'm saying? So like if you air fry those with some French fries, like why do I need to give you $11 Chick-fil-A for that? And if I wanted a chicken sandwich, I could put those same chicken strips on a very good, better quality bun at my house with pickles I made. Oh, won't she do it? With pickles I made, and it's going to eat down. It's going to be a phenomenal food experience. And I think that is how I have arrived at the place I've arrived at. Because I'm like, ooh, once you start doing too much stuff at home, yeah, I don't want to eat y'all's fake buns. And I don't know what they've done with the buns, what manufacturer people are using. I don't know if they've changed up the ingredients to make more buns for the masses. I don't know. And I am so sorry if this is about to ruin your favorite fast food place for you. But the next time you go get a burger or whatever from wherever, a chicken sandwich, whatever, when you bite into that bun, look at it. Look at it. Now, as a Chick-fil-A graduate, because that was my very first job when I was in the 8th grade, I was 14 years old. Back in the day, I know they used to have real buns because one of the jobs for the 14-year-olds was getting the buns out of the little container that they come in when they get shipped to the store. And we used to have to butter them by hand, like you would butter the buns. So back in the day, I know they used to have real bread. And I remember what the bread looked like. That is not the same bun that Chick-fil-A is using now. And the same thing goes for Wendy's, because while I may have worked at Chick-fil-A when I was a teenager, you could not keep me out of a Wendy's drive-thru, especially once I started driving. So I'm very familiar with their game and what it used to be like, and it's not the same now. They've fallen off. They have fallen off. And I hope I haven't ruined that for somebody, but you let me know your feelings about Chick-fil-A or your favorite fast food place, and if you have noticed that it's just not what it used to be. Like it's a little bit of an ick factor to it now. And once I'm icked, I cannot go back. It's hard for me to forgive an ick in a lot of different areas in life, but definitely with food. With that being said, I'm going to make more jerky this week. I'm going to do beef jerky and I'm going to do chicken jerky because I already know how the chicken jerky is going to come out. I might do that one first. I bought the beef that I need for the beef jerky at Costco the other day. I'm going to go ahead and get it marinating in the refrigerator. They recommend you marinating the meat at least 8 hours. When I did that chicken jerky, it marinated for well over a day. And I want to do the beef the same way. Now, the beef that I bought was from Costco. It is a top round, which is one of the cuts that they recommend if you're going to try to make jerky. But Costco had already thinly sliced it for me. So I don't have to really worry about thinly slicing it for jerky, but I probably will still cut it into strips. Gonna get it marinated, get it into the refrigerator so that we can make it maybe on Wednesday. Yeah. Want to have it done on Wednesday because I cannot really eat much of anything after Friday. And that is because I am having my reversal surgery this coming Monday. A week from today, I will be getting put back together. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Thank you for all of your prayers. We are right at the light at the end of this tunnel. I am so excited. I have been preparing my house and my family and all of the things for Monday. And part of that is making snacks so that people have yummy little to-go snacks when they go to basketball. People have yummy little snacks that they can munch on when their daddy starts having to make dinner again, because based on what I have been told, that is an experience in and of itself while daddy is cooking. So they need snacks while they're waiting. My parents are coming this coming weekend and they loved the chicken jerky. So I want to make sure they have some so that they can have snacks to come to the hospital or, while they're here with the kids, whatever is going to end up happening. People have things that they can munch on. And I know that they are actually good for you. What I love about the beef jerky so far, I haven't even made it yet, but the pack of meat that I bought was not even $16. And if you know anything about a high quality beef jerky, sometimes it is $16 for 1 ounce or maybe 1.5 ounces of jerky. I got 1.5 pounds of meat for $15 and some change. And once I slice or cut up all of that beef for my little jerky strips, I'm probably going to have so much jerky that I'm going to have to share it. I will have to give some of it away. Now, my parents will tell me not to do that. They will say, "Oh, no, girl, don't you give that jerky away. Give it to us. We'll eat it." So once it's all made and I see how much it actually ends up being, I think I will have some to give away. And I'm going to do 2 different flavors. I'm going to do a regular original flavor because I have a new seasoning kit that I want to try. But then I'm also going to do a sweet and spicy on the beef jerky too. The chicken jerky, I'm going to do it the exact same way that I did last time because it was such a big hit. Why mess up a good thing? So I feel like this is a good time to kind of talk about what's going on. So I already told you my last scan went great. She called me that same day, told me it was great, and told me we were going to get scheduled for surgery. Wednesday, the 14th, I went to the doctor's office. We went through everything. She told me about the surgery. I am going to get to have the smaller of the surgeries. So I will not have to have that bigger surgery with the longer recovery time. She did tell me that after the surgery, well, the surgery should only be about 2 hours. Once it's over, I will have to stay at the hospital for like a day or two, which is fine. So I will have to stay at the hospital for like a day or two. Once I'm home, I'll be on a bland, restrictive diet, which is exactly what I expected based on the first surgery. It was the same way. So I would imagine you have to do the same thing when they put you back together. So it'll be a bland, restrictive diet at first. And then once we see how things are going, they will add foods back based on how I'm healing. I will be on a restricted activity type of way of living. I won't be able to lift anything heavy. And she definitely told me, like, girl, you won't be able to do no Pilates. So don't even ask me about doing nothing with your abdomen, about crunching it, moving it, nothing. She talked about how you can develop a hernia after this particular surgery. It's not that common, but she was like, it can happen. And she was like, and of course, you don't want that to happen to you because you do not want to have another surgery after this because you developed a hernia. And I was like, absolutely not, girl. And so she was like, yeah, just don't lift anything heavy. Don't be doing nothing with your abdomen. And let's plan to do that for basically about 4 weeks. And then we will go from there. I said, no problem. I can do that. So that's what I'm setting myself up for. I've been trying to have all of my hobbies and all of my things like organized and where I can easily reach them to do them. I know I'll be able to walk still because that's something that they always highly encourage you to do. So I will continue with my daily walks, but everything else will be put on hold, and I'll be like diving more into some of this other stuff that I have set up for myself for 2026. Very excited about it. I need to pack my hospital bag because, of course, now that we know better, we do a little bit better. And see, the first time they caught me off guard, I wasn't ready. Like Meryl Streep would say, I wasn't ready. No one was ready. We didn't know. But now that I know that sometimes you check in over there and you don't necessarily check out when they say you will, girl, I am going to have my bag packed. My bag is going to have the things that I need in it, like all of my different little toiletries that I need. I'm going to make sure that I have a couple different gowns in there so that I'm not necessarily like committed to the hospital gown of it all. So I'm going to have that. And I'm going to bring my book club book of the month because our meeting, I should be back home from the hospital in time from the meeting. And I know somebody is thinking, girl, why are you worried about going to book club? Because book club is important to me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take my book club book of the month because I do still need to finish that before our meeting. And I'm going to take yarn and a crochet needle so that I can practice. Because one thing that I have learned about being in the hospital, those people come check on you bright and early in the morning before you ever even get a chance to wake up. It's like by 7 o'clock, you've seen everybody. They come, they check on you early. They bring you your food early. After that, you're literally just sitting in there. The hospital has pretty good TV, but you mainly end up watching like either the Food Network or HGTV, and you just let that run all day. Or at least that's what I was doing because out of the cable channel choices that were available to me, those were the only two that I could fathom having running in the background all day. So I'm going to have my crochet needle, my book club book of the month. Those are the two things I'm going to take to give me something to do. I'm going to have my toiletries. I'm going to have my my gowns and my things so we can have a nice, comfortable stay. And then hopefully we will be home, like she said, in 1 or 2 days. I'm very excited about it. And I know you can imagine how excited I am. I feel like it's been a long time since August when all of this first started, but I also feel like the time has gone by so fast. And I do feel like once I wasn't sick anymore, having this ostomy pouch really, of course, it's not ideal. It's not favorable. And we could have gone our whole lives without it. But it really wasn't that bad once all the other problems were solved. So, I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful. I'm very happy. I'm very excited. And I'm ready to have the surgery and heal and recover and move on to the next thing. I don't have any feelings of anxiety. I don't feel nervous. I feel like my surgeon is not only is she just very smart, which obviously you have to be a surgeon, but I feel like she is very skilled and talented. And I don't say that lightly. If it wasn't for her, I would not even be recording this podcast with you right now. She had a big part in saving my life. And I just love her to pieces. Love everything about her. She's a California girl. She's so chill. And even though she's a doctor and a surgeon, and she has this big job where she treats all kinds of people for issues concerning their bowel or intestines. So you know that about her, but then when you're in her presence, it very much gives she's a California girl that loves her some hot Cheetos and a nice little crisp soda. And it's she don't have to say too much because she already knows what to do. She just wants to make sure you're comfortable and you know what's going on. And as long as everybody's on the same page, you're literally, when you go see her, you're in and out of her office in not even 20 minutes. You go in there, she's like, are you good? Are you okay? Do you feel okay? Do you have any questions about anything? When do you want to have your surgery? I said, I want to have the next first available. That's what I told her. She was like, when were you thinking you wanted to do it? And I said, the very next available day. I said, if I could have this surgery tomorrow, meaning Thursday, I would do it if you told me it was possible. And she was like, no. We cannot do it the next day because there are things you have to do to be prepared for this particular type of surgery. And it takes a couple days. And I wanted to share that with people because when I got the list of things I had to do, I said, there's no way I could have had this the next day. So today is Monday and I'll live a regular life between now and Friday. So all this week is fine. Not really. You don't have to start doing anything until 2 days before your surgery. And for me, that just happens to be Saturday and Sunday. But once you read everything that you're supposed to do, and you know what these things are going to make your body do, you tell yourself, you probably shouldn't eat too crazy all this week. I had every intention on doing so because I know I'm not going to be able to eat much at all after the surgery. And what little bit of food I'm able to eat is going to be bland, like she said, which since I've already been eating chicken broth for breakfast every morning this week, but their chicken broth is not going to be like mine. They are going to tell me plain chicken broth, Tia. Don't be putting none of that shit in there. So I'm going to, on Friday, I think, go ahead and start reducing. No, I think I should start before Friday, actually. I think I told myself maybe starting Wednesday, I would go ahead and start trying to reduce, the amount of meat protein that I eat, little by little, just take a little bit off of it so that I have more veggies and fruits in my system. Because on Saturday, I have to start drinking these Ensure surgery shakes that have some different things in them that help prepare you for surgery. because they're designed to help with the healing afterwards. So I have to drink 2 of those a day, Saturday and Sunday. On Sunday, I can't eat anything at all. The day before surgery, you cannot eat anything at all. You can only drink clear liquids and I guess the shakes that they have provided. And the hospital gave me the shakes. The day before the surgery, I also have to drink 64 ounces of Gatorade with Miralax in it. In addition to that, they have like a schedule of 2 different prescriptions that I have to start at 2:00 on Sunday. You take a dose at 2, a dose at 6. You also start drinking the Miralax at 6. You do another round of the medication at 10. And then the morning of the surgery, they gave me like a carbohydrate Ensure kind of Gatorade looking drink to drink the morning of. Now, I have not Googled either one of these medications because I already know that this stuff is either designed to completely empty you out or it is designed to do something else for your body in preparation of surgery. My guess is that one of them is designed to empty you out and the other one is designed to do maybe something else. Knowing that, I told myself it would probably be wise of us not to eat anything too crazy between Wednesday and Friday. Even though I want to make sure like I eat something that I enjoy one more time before this, and I definitely will. I'm like, because see, for most people, if they were having to do this and you know, your body is functioning in its normal way, it would be fine. Like you would just go to the bathroom and it would be okay. Because I want to say this is the prep she said they give someone who's having a what is that people have to get? Is it called a colostomy? Or no. Now I sound stupid. Let me see. Hold on. What is it? Y'all know what scan I'm talking about too. No, I have a colostomy bag. No. People go get a what? Oh my gosh. What is it called? It's like an X-ray or MRI for your stomach. Oh my gosh. What is it called? Someone is saying it. Someone right now is listening to me and they're shouting it at me. OMG. What is it called? And I'm Googling it, by the way. It is what is it? A colonoscopy. What did I say? I said a colostomy because that's what I have. Yes, a colonoscopy. This is the same prep they do for that. And if you know, or like I said, if you're functioning the way you're supposed to, that's fine because you just go to the bathroom. But since I have a colostomy bag, this is going to happen to me in the same way, but it's all going to come out in this bag. And so let me just tell you how that means I know this whole situation is going to end with a bang. It really is going to end with a bang because next weekend or this coming weekend, I'm not going to be able to leave my house. I'm not, or at least on Sunday, I'm not going to be able to go nowhere. I might not even go downstairs on Sunday. And then, of course, they give you the Hibiclens, so you can start using that to take your bath 2 days prior to surgery. All the other stuff that they have up here are things that I don't have an issue with, like you can't have any gel or acrylic nails, no nail polish, no false eyelashes, no body piercings. Do not drink any alcoholic beverages, which I have not done. Don't shave. What else? Yeah, that's it. All this other stuff, no hair pieces, no glasses, no contacts, none of that. Yeah. So it's like we're good. So next weekend, I'm gonna make sure I have all of the reminders and my little schedule set up in my phone so that I don't miss taking any of my medications. I've already picked up all this stuff. The only thing that I still have to get is the Gatorade and the Miralax. But we should be good to go. And funny enough, when I went to the hospital to pick up my shakes and my things, they gave me my bag, and my bag didn't have the shakes in it. And I had to pretty much tell them, like, hey, I don't think that's my bag, or like my bag is supposed to have shakes. And as people tend to do, they're trying to tell you what's in their computer system. And I didn't have that paperwork that I just read to you guys. I didn't have that with me when I went to go pick up my bag because I didn't think I was going to need it. But I had texted a friend a picture of that information. And so I had it in my phone, luckily. And so I put it up in my phone and I was like, I just left the doctor's office on Wednesday, because this was Friday when I was picking up the stuff. I'm like, I just left her office on Wednesday. She went through this whole piece of paper with me and read it to me and made me follow along with her. They told me that when I came over here, you guys would provide certain things I would have to go either to my other pharmacy or to the store and pick it up for myself. I said, so I know I'm supposed to have shakes. And I would like to pick them up right now because I'm already over here. Next week, I don't want to have to come over here. So she went back to the back, talked to somebody, and they must have just been like, give it to her and get her out of here. They gave me the shakes, came home. Someone from the surgeon's office is supposed to call me on Thursday to review all of those steps with me just to make sure I understand what I'm supposed to do and the order that I'm supposed to do it in, so that I'm ready on Monday. I'll head over there Monday morning, and by Monday evening, I should be all put together again. I'm so excited. So excited. So excited. I cannot even put it into words. So all this week, I'm just trying to wrap up a few things here and around the house so that I'm ready for my little 4 weeks of recovery. And then come March is going to be like my official new year. Now, my birthday is February the 7th. So I don't know what that's going to be like in here recovering for all the things. But at this point, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should just push everything that I was supposed to do or get to do over these past 6 months. Maybe I just make plans to make it all up for the rest of this year. I don't know. Maybe we can talk about that on my next call, but I'll be 42 on February the 7th. And I am also extremely happy about that and very thankful, because let me just say, 41 tried to be my grand finale and the Lord said, no ma'am. No ma'am, girl, you got to stick around. We still got some things to do. And I'm very happy about that. So anyway, that's my little medical update. Wanted to talk about a couple more things. And then, girl, I'm gonna let you go so you can enjoy your MLK. Did y'all see J-Lo's glam bot when she went to the award show the other day? Now, I don't know if her and that guy have had a previous going at it. I don't know if J-Lo just doesn't like doing the glam bot. I don't know what's happening in that whole thing. He was very nice to her, very sweet, very warm, very welcoming. And when you go to his page to see like all of the people do the glam bot, he treats everyone the same. And everyone is so nice to him. They seem to really enjoy him. What was going on with her? And I'm like, see, girl, these little moments are why we have a hard time defending you. We have a hard time defending you when you get in front of the cameras and you act like that. When you don't even speak to him. He speaks to you. He talks to you. You don't even address him. You barely look at him. What is that about? What is that about? Because out of all of the people that you could ignore or that might deserve for you to ignore them, he really doesn't give that he's one of them. So like what was happening there? What was happening there? And then why did your makeup artist do that to you? if I was mad at anything, I would have been mad at that person. And maybe she was, now that I'm talking about it out loud, maybe she was mad at the makeup artist because she knew. And then that made her say to herself, well, I don't want to do GlamBot, but they'll talk about me bad if I don't do it. Maybe she knew her makeup was being photographed in a I don't know, in a bad light. It did not look good. Like, it was giving tanning bed in the worst way. It was giving tanning bed in the worst way. So I don't know what happened there with the makeup situation or with her makeup artist, but I would like to believe that that's what happened. And that's the narrative that I'm going to go with. She realized that that makeup artist had done her dirty, but it was too late for her to switch it up or do anything about it, because she had to be on the carpet and inside that building before the doors closed and the show started. So when she was doing the carpet, she probably didn't want to do GlamBot. And I think they said that she was running late, or like the carpet was about to close. She was one of the last people to come in or something like that. And maybe that was why, because she really didn't want the fussiness of the carpet. But she also didn't want to tell Mr. GlamBot no. So she did it, but she probably had a little attitude about it, which I understand, girl. If you're not happy with your makeup and this is a zoom in makeup situation, even the most beautiful of women, because I would consider her to be a very beautiful woman, it's kind of like, oh no, this makeup doesn't look good. So I don't want you zooming in on my face. But that's what the GlamBot machine does. It zooms in, it zooms out. It zooms slow. It's like a slow motion. It's a very fun thing that they do, but let's go with that. And that she doesn't have some type of silent beef with the GlamBot man, because the comments that I read on TikTok made it seem like she's just this awful person. But I'm going to go with that lady knew her makeup looked bad and she was mad about that, which is probably fair. If I paid someone to do my makeup and my makeup looked like that, I too would be upset, and I'd probably be seething if I knew I didn't even have time to have it fixed. There was no way for me to remedy that, because I would look at that makeup job and say, oh, I could have done better by myself. It might not have been like camera ready makeup, but I would have looked nicer than this. That really looked like a bad leather tan. What they did to her with that bronzer would make her want to fight somebody. And you know what she say? Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block, and I will cut a bitch. That's probably what J-Lo wanted to say. But she couldn't say it. She couldn't say it because she knows people think that about her. And so then she tries to be even keel. I'm not going to say she tries to be nice, because clearly nothing about that video said, like, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to, no. The look that was on her face was, I would rather be anywhere else doing anything else. And I'm actually quite upset, but, a job is a job, and this is part of it. By this point, people have probably seen lots of videos about Desmond and Christy. And I feel like, number one, I had no idea that them breaking up would be that big of an online social media story. Like, it seems like it just grows and grows and grows. Every time I get online, it's something else, something new, whatever. By now, we know that Christy got to keep the house, as she should, because Christy was always the brand and the money. Desmond probably could not afford to keep that house if he wanted to. If we're keeping it a buck, that house was always going to be Christy's. And we love that for her. We love the fact that she has that divorce bob and she's at the same address that she's always been at. I love it, girl. Keep making your videos. Keep taking your pictures. Keep on doing you, girl, because it was always you. We love that. Now, what I do not love at all, what I do not love about any of this at all, is that it's a lot. I feel like it's too much. I kind of wish, which she hasn't addressed him really at all, other than the little same address caption. And I hope that's where it stays. Like, I hope we don't start seeing a lot of tit for tat in their content, or I hope we don't start seeing a lot of her content turning into like sub content about him or their situation. Like, I really hope she just flips the page and moves on, because really she can. Really she can. She literally never has to mention him again, ever. We can act like we never knew she was married to him, or at least that's the kind of friend I am. You could be married to somebody for 45 years. If you call me and tell me y'all not together no more, I will act like that never happened. That 45 years of your life, it was never there. We never knew him. Girl, who is that? How did you end up with these children? That is how much your man will disappear to me, right? We will flip that page and we will be like, girl, what do you want to do now? Where you want to go? What you want to do? What does life look like? Like, let's keep it pushing forward and moving forward. And I hope that is what she does. Now, people did reach out to me after that last call and they were like, girl, this breakup is not Christy's fault. And I said, I never said it was her fault. I said, because multiple things can be true at one time. This is not her fault. That lady was making a living for her family. And all he had to do was cock his head back and laugh. So if I wasn't clear in my last call, that is what I meant. All he had to do was scream her name and chuckle a few times a day, and everything would have been fine. But since he couldn't do that, since he could not do that, and she did make him get his social media page. So sometimes it's not anybody's fault. The facts are just the facts. And one of the facts is, as their family business grew, it kind of only made sense for him to get his own page because people were genuinely interested in his food, all the food that he would make for her. And she would show, people were interested. So she was like, ooh, you need a place to put that food because like my pages aren't about to be recipe pages. Like, I'm not about to start doing that. So it makes sense. He is a chef and everybody knew it. I think what happened with that though, is then he started feeling himself, or as like the old folks say, he started smelling himself. He started growing out that facial hair. He really became on the inside one of these little Instagram homeboys that thought, things were the way they weren't. See, where he messed up is he forgot that he is a chain hanging from the main food chain. If Christy is the food chain, which she is, and all of these ways to make money kind of branch off of Christy, bruh, you're a branch, you're not the tree. Maybe that was a better analogy for it. You're a branch, you're not the tree. You're a branch, you're not the tree. And you know what hangs from branches? Low-hanging fruit. So then you have these women probably sliding into your DMs, telling you things about yourself, and you're eating it right on up. You're eating it right on up because you're looking at your situation thinking you're sick of it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of these videos. Like, I'm so sick of her doing cartwheels at Gucci. Like, I'm so sick of her being dressed like a dolphin and I'm in here trying to make crepes. Like, I'm so sick of it. You got sick of it because to you, yeah, it probably was a big part of their lives, like the whole production of it all. And he was probably annoyed by it. I saw a video on TikTok where she's like making a picnic or like doing some type of picnic thing. And you can tell in that video that they are highly annoyed with each other. Like, everything about her body language, everything about how she was talking to them, you could see that they had already started having some type of tension between them. And it was like that awkward tension where she really wanted to look at him and say, if you don't lean your head back and laugh when I cue you to, bruh, because it don't have to be you. It could really be anybody calling my name and laughing at me. But I'm going to let it be you because it's been you since we were 14. So I'm trying to give you a little bit of grace. I'm trying to work this out. And I'm trying not to get the ick from you so bad that I get you out of here. I kick you out of my house. That's what happened to him. That, and he let the streets call his name too hard and he fell into him. Now, that video that has been going around the internet of him making out with that lady in that restaurant lets me know why they had to divorce. Because, see, it is my personal belief that this was not the first time Christy and Desmond probably had some problems. But all the problems they had had leading up to this were swept under the rug. They were able to keep those problems real quiet. Because she knew this was about to be a public problem. I'm assuming, was that TMZ that had the video of them? I'm pretty sure TMZ told her, we got this video of him. And baby, we done already paid for this video. And this video is about to go onto the internet. And Christy probably said to them over at TMZ, hold on, at least let me go file for divorce first. And once I file, whatever you got, you can let the chopper sing. Let it out. So that I can save face. Because what he won't do is embarrass me on his way out. And that is what I think really happened. There was no way she was going to be able to not address this. And because of that, she was like, yeah, bro, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And you're an awful little man. You're an awful little man, because in his little statement, if they were truly already broken up, like he says they were, then the least you could do, and this is how I know they've been together since they were 14, because you don't even have the good common sense to cheat in private at home where can't nobody see you. Why are you letting that lady sit on your lap in a public restaurant? And that is how I also know that you don't even realize the platform that y'all have. You don't think that people are going to be taking video and picture of you while you're out with a woman who's not your wife. So you're either just not that smart, or you really just don't know the game. You really just don't even know the game because you weren't allowed to play it when you was a little YN. And that's fine, because we're here to let you know for future reference, if you're going to cheat, you're not supposed to do it in public like that. You're not supposed to do it in public like that, especially when your wife is a very much so likable public persona. Because people might not think Christy is funny, but she is very likable. But then sometimes I read the comments and I'm like, why y'all don't like this lady? What'd she do? You don't like it that she goes and buys YSL pumps and then does backflips in them? How is that bothering you? Seems to be providing her and them kids with a really good life. Why didn't I think to do that years ago when TikTok got popular during the pandemic? Why didn't I think to go put on some shoes or like a flamingo costume and start flipping around this house? No one told me. I didn't know. I had no idea that that is what the people wanted to see. Leave that lady alone. Leave her alone. Let her do what she want to do, either in public or in private. But hopefully, I hope my good sis just moves on like nothing ever happened. She continues to keep the faces of those children to herself, keeps blurring them out so that they don't have to be associated with their daddy and his mess. And thank goodness, right? Thank goodness that she's always had the mindset to do that. Now, I did see a video from him the other day because TikTok is messy. And a friend of mine had sent me something about him. And then literally, as soon as I opened up TikTok, he was the first video in my FYP, because then people are watching and they live in our phones. And his video was basically of him setting up his new kitchen. It was a pretty kitchen. It's a new kitchen. And I want him to do well and continue well now. And for somebody who claimed they was sick of content, he's going to have to keep making it because he's going to have to pay some type of child support, is he not? I don't know. I don't know how any of that works. Yeah, I don't know. We would like to believe he's going to have to pay child support, but we know what we know about him. So I'm like, Desmond, can you afford? Can you afford it? I don't know. We don't know. Doesn't matter. But that place he moved into is real nice. It's a beautiful kitchen. So not me pocket watching and adding up the numbers. I have not always been the best at math, but I am good at counting money. And what I know about counting money is when your kitchen is that nice, you better still have money left over to pay that lady her child support. So we'll see. I just wanted to wrap up that conversation because we won't be talking about that anymore unless something catastrophic comes about across my timeline about it. I just want to put a pin in that. So if you too were thinking about messaging me about them, please always know that I'm a girl's girl and I'm going to root for the woman every time. I'm going to root for the woman every time. And there are several reasons why, but just to make a very long conversation very short, because at the end of the day, I know that if a woman did something to that man, he deserved it. It's his fault. Might not have been his fault today, but it might have been his fault from something years ago. So let's leave her alone and wish her well. Let's do a quick TV rundown. I have seen His and Hers. People kept talking about it on the internet about how good it was. I love Tessa Thompson real bad. I love her down. So I watched it and I will say it was good. I will also say that maybe it was on episode 4 that I knew who it was at the end. And not because the show makes that obvious, but if you watch enough of those kind of shows, you could probably guess it too. And at the end of it, I was satisfied. I was like, oh, okay, but did that show like knock my socks off? Not in the way that I thought it would based on how people were raving about it online. So yeah, but it was good. And it's only 6 episodes. So you could watch it in like a day or a night. I did watch The Suitcase Killer because the director of that is a young Black woman. So I wanted to support that on its opening weekend. I think it ended up being number 2 on Netflix, which is great. Good movie based on a true story. I want to say, though, watching it, you could tell it must have been a Lifetime movie first because it gives Lifetime movie. Once you're able to get past that, watch it because it's a very interesting story. Do I think that woman should have gone to jail? Like I said, no, I'm a girl's girl. And now should she have killed the man? Probably not. She didn't have to kill him. Did he deserve what he got? Yes, because he had really made that lady's life really awful. Kind of, sort of. Not really, though, because she was definitely getting her lick back. I don't know. Y'all have to watch that and come up with your own opinions of it. But I kind of feel torn about it. Kind of feel like she didn't really need to go to jail for her whole life. But also, yeah, with the way the court case kind of played out, they painted him as some veteran saint. And they really didn't stress enough about how he was an abuser. And now that I think about it, why didn't they bring his ex-wife up there to testify? Because in the beginning of that movie, the ex-wife comes to the house and tries to warn this woman of who he really is and about how abusive he is and like all of that. But of course, because she the new girl, she's like, oh no, baby, that's how he was with you. He's not like that with me. And when you have that mindset, when you turn down the Barbara Shirley conversation, when you turn that down, then now I have to kind of say you get what you get and you can't throw a fit. Because then when that man started tearing you every which way, I mean, you handled your business. You got rid of him. But kind of like also, had you just listened to that first wife to begin with, you would not have had to do that and end up in jail for the rest of your life. And she has 2 small children. So, but please watch it to support the young woman who directed it. It's a young Black girl. And I think she did a good job because I want to say she said this was her first film. And if it was her first one, she did a really good job. Some of those Terry McMillan movies are coming to Netflix. The ones that were on Lifetime, they're coming to Netflix over the next week or so. So set your reminders. We will be watching. I did not watch them when they were on Lifetime. The only one I watched was He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. And I remember talking about that here on the podcast. And I remember not saying great things about it. I want to say I didn't like how it ended. Or there was something that I didn't like about that movie, and I can't remember what it was, but that will not stop me from watching the rest of them. So those are coming to Netflix. Watch out for that. And there are a couple other good things coming to Netflix. So if you scroll through your like what's new or upcoming, or like the thing they have up there where you can click on like remind me, there's a Mike Epps special coming. And there's another movie coming, but I didn't write it down. But we'll be watching, especially because, like, girl, I'm going to just be sitting here. And we are wrapping up our first book of the year, The Bluest Eye. I have so enjoyed reading this book. I am so glad we're reading Toni Morrison all year because, honestly, if I had to read another author's writing right after this, I don't know how fairly I would be able to take in that storytelling, because I would probably be comparing the two writing styles to one another. So it would have had to be like a really, really, really either good book or some really awesome storytelling to make me be like, now I know we didn't just read Toni Morrison and now we're reading this. So I'm glad I don't have that problem because we're reading her all year. The Bluest Eye was great. If you have joined book club, our meeting is coming up. Stay tuned to the Substack so that you know when she sends out the Zoom information and you know when the meeting is going to be. It's typically the last Thursday of the month at 8. So I think this is our last week of like reading, and then next week we should be meeting. And I can't wait for our first book club meeting. I cannot wait to see you all there because I know some of y'all joined book club. So yay, that's it. I'm sorry if I sound a little tired or like out of it. My stomach actually does kind of hurt today, and I am a little tired, and I still have so many things that I would like to do before. I'm going to try to have all of my stuff done by Wednesday so that like Thursday and Friday I can just rest. And then Saturday and Sunday, I can drink all of the things, take all of the meds, go through whatever small piece of hell that's going to put me through with this bag. And then on Monday, we go get put back together again. If you can think of anything that I need to remember to take to the hospital with me, please, girl, do shoot me a message over on our Instagram page at Tia's Table Podcast, just to make sure I have my I's dotted and my T's crossed. Because I'm going to start putting that bag together probably today so that I have all week to not forget anything. But if you think of something like, ooh, she should probably take this, or she should probably take that, or this would probably help her stay entertained while she's sitting there, whatever it is, girl, shoot me a message and tell me all the things, because I want to be prepared for whatever. I'm keeping my hopes and my prayers on that 1 to 2 days, but I would be lying if I said I didn't have a little bit of PTSD, and I'm afraid I might be there past 2 days. And if that's the case, I would have really wished that I had packed a better bag. So let me know. Ooh, I do need to take my own Lysol. I remember that. I remember wanting to have my own Lysol to like spray the things down, because you would think a hospital is like the most sterile place ever. But baby, it is not. It is in fact not. And I know the flu is like buzzing around everywhere. So yeah, actually, let me do my own Lysol and my own hand sanitizer. Yeah. Okay. All right, girl. Remember, when you're out, compliment someone, say something nice, make their day, make another woman smile. Don't compete, don't compare, don't complain. What God has for you is for you, and never knock another woman's hustle. And I'll talk to you again probably on Wednesday. Yes, I want to do another call before I start to like get into all of the things, so we can chat before our next big to-do, girl. We about to be done with all these to-dos, the big ones anyway. We're about to be done, and then we can get back to some regular to-dos. I'm looking so forward to just having some regular to-dos. I will talk to you real soon, girl. Love you. Bye.